Video, we will figure out how to make this button do something. Read to actually go to the full text of the blog. So first and foremost, we should figure out what would we want to be displayed here. Where would this go? So usually when we go to a post, we'd probably want something like post hyphen, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I've done this in the past. That sounds fair. We just have post 1, 2, 3. That would work for us. Really, it would. Now, a lot of posts have, like a lot of blogs do, turn the post name into like another, or my first post. That's fine. That's called a slug, S-L-U-G. We're not going to do that. That's really kind of complicated and more than we need to. Instead, what we're going to do is we're just actually going to use the index number, right? The ID number for the post, right? So it is really going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, just as it is here. Now, right now, if I do that, not found because, well, it doesn't know what to do with it. So let's start with going to the actual index page here, and we have this this hyperlink, right? This does the read, and what we need is to access the index of it. So I'm just going to grab here post, paste that in here, and it's going to be, let's say, hyphen post hyphen or slash post slash ID. That's really the simplest thing. If you wanted to make something more complicated, like a post number, a randomly generated number, or that slug, you would actually need to go into the post table and make it part of the object when the object is declared, right? And make sure it's unique, right? The one thing we know is unique is the post ID, so that's why we're using it, okay? So I believe this will work, right. Let's eliminate that because we don't need that part there. But so post slash, and then post ID. All right, and if we run this now, we have it does go to post 1 and post ID like that. So already we're starting with something. Something is better than nothing, right? Oh, here's 3, right? 3. Okay. Now we want it to display we should go to the route and make it so that when we click that, it doesn't go nowhere. So we're going to grab our route and we'll go app.route, and we're going to do slash post slash, and now how do we develop an index, an ID? Well, this is where this special syntax, and this syntax here is available if we go to actually Flask. This is Flask SQL. So we have to go to Flask, and we'll call URL, making URL. Let's see what they come up with us. Creating dynamic URLs, creating, quick start. Let's just go to this, and there's a term for unique URLs, redirection behavior, routing, URL building. That might be what we're interested in here. So they give us some options on just redirection and things like this. Oh, variable rules. So we can, actually this is perfect right here. This is exactly what we need to do. So let's go ahead and just borrow this, right? Borrow it and put it in our own code. Here we go. And it says post slash and then integer. So it will be a post number followed by a variable we're going to refer to as post ID. And then when we want to run the show post method, we pass the argument show post ID. So what happens if we, run this as it is here? Right, we have this, post, and sure enough, post ID 2, right? Beautiful. We're already making so much progress. Now we don't want it to show that. We want it to show the blog text. So we'll need a new template. Let's create new HTML file, and it'll be just called post. Okay. Now, if we remember from our days here, we want to start with grabbing this template from, this. We're going to be still using our navigation method here, so we don't want to create something scratch again. We instead want to just grab what we have here and put it in, right? And so this is our header, and the header of it is going to be, well, what's the header going to be? We probably want the post name. So just as we were doing in the title, we should pass something as well. So that's the post information. So let's assume we're putting in information called post, right? So double brackets post dot title, right? Makes sense, right? That's going to be in our header. That's going to be in the title of our page. And then the content of our page is going to be the body, right? Post dot body. Well, not exactly, right? It's going to be a little more than that, because we first want to put in this. So let me just, grab that, put that in here. Do we probably want H1 here, and we probably want the post title again. So remember, what goes up here in the title is actually what belongs in the up here in this, right? home.leblog -leblog. So it'll say the post title -leblog. So then this is what actually appears on the page. So we want the title, then probably followed by the subtitle, right? Okay, subtitle, followed by the body of the post, and maybe at the very end, a category, right? And if we remember, we access the category object, and from within the category object, we access the name. And we could probably even put category, and here's the name of the category. All right, this is looking pretty good already. It's going to be a really basic thing, but that's what we're into, and we'll fix it up a little later. So now let's see here. We come back to this, and if you access the post ID, it needs to do what? Well, first we need to actually, I'm going to delete this here, get the post from the database. So here we're going to go back to our Flask SQL and querying results, and we just need a single entry here. So we can filter it, but we just want kind of the first one here. And if he says here, we read right here, if you want to go by the primary key, you can also use the .get. Great. Well, let's do the .get. So we'll call it post is equal to post, which is the object, right? Here we have an example to get all the posts. We get them all. So if we just want the one, we do post.query.get, and we need the ID, which should be just this right here. Okay. And that will return the post. And then when we want to render the page, we're going to say render template, render the post template, and we're going to pass a single argument, which is going to be called post, but we're calling it post, right? So just to make this post refers to this post, okay? And maybe, we'll call it fetched post, and then here we're going to call it fetched post as well, just to clarify, right? Fetch post refers to this variable, and we're assigning it to the value post, And then this value post we are using on this page to access this post like this. All right, let's see if that works. I'm curious. I'm always curious when I code things like this, if they're gonna work, right? So let's, oh, I guess we don't need to refresh that. Here we go. Let's go for the big one. Whoa, whoa, it worked. And that's a lot of text. And I'm not sure what to do with all that. We might need to fix it up, but yeah, it's all here. It's all here, isn't it? That's great. That's marvelous. I'm very pleased with myself now. So continuing on though, right, so great. Wow, we did it. So that's the basics of it there. I guess the next step would be to kind of figure out a couple things. One, how can we make this look a little, how could we make this look a little better with maybe some formatting and such, narrow the margins, but that's all Bootstrap stuff. But for the most part, that is that part in a nutshell. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much, and till the next video.